Welcome to the Ghost Rider channel. Welcome back, guys. If you're new around here, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I won't go too far into any of that. Let's get on with it. So this story today is Storytime number 2, and it's going to be about when the cops pulled me when I had no insurance on my 125 bike when I was 17 years old. Now, before I go into that story, I just want to let you guys know that I've given myself 1 month to record videos, and so say in March, it's March right now, and I've given myself a month to record, stockpile as many videos as I can so that I can release daily uploads forever. So the reason that I mention this is you're going to see the bike go through multiple changes. So currently, the mirrors are off. I like the aesthetic of the mirrors being off, and I'm going to make a video separately because there's quite a deep meaning behind taking my mirrors off. But you know, if you want a sneak peek into that video, it's because whenever people get up my backside when I'm on the bike, I tend to get quite aggressive. So I've taken them off for my safety and their safety. Anyway, the reason that I'm telling you that the bike's going to go through changes, as you can see, the front plastic, the wind defender, is it a wind defender? The front windshield anyway, I've taken that off because I want to sand that down and get that all sorted. So it's off at the moment, but you're going to see videos where it's on, off. I buy a different one, put that one on. You get the gist of it. So now that we've got that off our chests, let's get on with the video. So story time number 2. As many of you guys will currently be doing, you'll have done your CBTs and you'll be on 125s or your 50cc's. And let me tell you, I have owned some sheds of 125cc bikes. But this one particular time, this story that I'm going to tell you about, I was out with my friend. My friend was called Lee. I lived with him at the time because I didn't know how to behave myself when I was a child, so I lived with him and his parents, and we had a lot of fun together. He's a good lad. So he had a Lex Moto 125, and I was a cheapskate, so I would always buy Chinese 125s. And this particular one, this was my third 125cc bike. It was I'll give you the name of it. None of you will ever have seen one before. Search it, or I tell you what, I'll put it up on screen, a picture of it. It was called an Urban DZ 125, and it was so dangerous. It was like held together by blue tack essentially. So now that we've got the gist of what bike I was on at what time, I was 17 years old, and this was just before I met my wife. Well, not when I met my wife. I've always known my wife, but it was just before me and my wife started dating, let's say. So me and my friend, we started driving from the town that we live in, and we planned to meet up with some of the boys and have a few races on the way to Tesco's, which is about 15 miles away from where I lived at the time. So we set off, and we knew that his brand new Lex Moto, it was a XTRS 125. Let me tell you now, back then in 7 years ago, so in 2013, the Lex Moto XTRS was actually a very, very good bike. But that's not what this video is about. But anyway, he had that, it was black, it was smooth as butter. Not too many complaints on it. And he bought it for about £1,050, which is brilliant. And we started racing from the town that I lived in, and on the way to Tesco's it's this road that we're on right now actually, and you can imagine on a 125 that you are going completely flat out the whole way because we got nice big open roads here, which is quite surprising considering we live in the UK. So we're on our way, and we see one of the boys pull up next to us. So we start racing him. Bear in mind, my bike topped out at about 67 miles per hour, so even if I was caught going flat out, you know, tucked in downhill, they probably wouldn't even pull me over because my bike was that slow. The XTRS, it topped out at like say 72, I think. Well, bear in mind, this is what the speedos are telling us, so we probably didn't even break the speed limit at all, which it was crazy because when I was on my bike earlier, not as I'm recording this video now, but earlier, before I set off for work, which is where I'm going now, I was sitting in second gear doing 60 miles per hour, and I was thinking, this feels so slow. And it's crazy how the concept changes when you go onto a bigger bike, how slow a 125 must really feel. But saying that at the same time, I would, if money was no object, I would absolutely buy another 125, and I would rag the life out of it. So I'm going to be on my way to work. I'm going to pop into this town here because I need to drop off a card to my mother. Won't go into that. So anyway, we're on our way, and we bump into a few of the boys. We have a little race, and eventually we get to Tesco's, right? And none of us actually want anything from Tesco's. So we pull up to the sort of front door, and we sit there and we look at each other. You guys know the moment. You know when you pull up to the place where you're meeting at, but it takes so long to get there that you... Don't pull out. Okay. So when you get to the place that you plan on going, because it takes so long because you're on a 125, it's like, what do we do now? We're here. Do we just drive home? Why is it that scooter bros, they never wave back at you? I think that guy did, but most of them don't. You'd think it would be the other way round. So anyway, we get a Tesco's. I apologise for going off track. I should probably edit all of this out, but I just want to go in, do the story, and edit it after. But I'm conscious that I'm nearly at my mother-in-law's house, so screw it, we'll crack on with it. Also, this is during the crisis of the coronavirus, so this is why you'll see not many people are out on the streets. And as you can see there, they're lined up at the chemist and they're meant to be socially distancing. So I'm just going to drop this card off here, and I promise I will tell you about the cop that pulled me over. And it's the most I've ever crapped my pants. So I'm just going to pull in here. Let's watch this guy. Yeah, you weren't looking. He was daydreaming. So bear with me 2 secs. I'm just going to pop this card in. I'll skip all this in editing, and I'll be with you in 2 secs, and I'll do the story. And we're done. Alrighty. So let me just get all my kit back on. Let's jump on the bike, and let's get out of here. So let's actually head to work, and let's finish this story. So we decide that there's a petrol station just across the road from Tesco's. So we go to pull off from Tesco's to Tesco's garage, which is across the road. And none of us know how to wheelie a bike, and you guys know that wheeling a 125 is very unimpressive. It's quite cringy, but we thought we were so cool by wanting to wheelie. So I'm in front of Lee. Lee's behind me, right? And I'm on my DZ125. So I'm doing about 3 miles per hour. I pull the clutch in, I put it on the dinger, and I drop it, right? And the front wheel lifts about 3 millimeters. But it sounds like, you know, because we've all stuck holes in our exhausts and unscrewed the header from the exhaust so that it's really loud and that the exhaust blows. So anyway, I pop the wheelie, and I say wheelie, I mean the front wheel probably didn't even come off the ground. And my friend behind me, I hear him, and his bike sounds like really quiet because he hasn't really done much to it because he only had the bike 3 days at this point. So he tries to do the same. He's very wobbly on a bike as well. So, it was a half-assed attempt, right? So we get to Tesco's garage, but just as we get there, whoop, whoop, it's the sound of the police. So they pull us over. I'm thinking, oh my god, I have no idea when I paid the insurance. I have no idea if I have an MOT. No, actually, I had MOT, but I didn't have tax. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, the important part was I didn't have insurance. So they pull us over, we're at the side of the road, and I already know that I don't have insurance because at the time I wasn't working, I was out of a job, I just lost my job, and I was very, very immature at the time, so I didn't care. I've never seen a policeman on the road at this point, so I thought I'll never get pulled over. My bikes were always broke within a week anyway, so I thought, they'll never pull me over, my bike will never last. So they pull us over, and I'm in front and Lee's behind me. And the policeman, he pulls us over and he asks for Lee's license and my license, and he asks to see Lee's papers on his bike. So I think, and bear in mind, ANPR cameras were out at this point, so I think, right, I'm done, I'm going to the police station right now. So I take off my helmet, I sit on the curb next to the bike, I've turned the bike off, I take my jacket off, and I just sit on the curb waiting for the impending bollocking and for them to arrest me. 10 minutes later, they go, boys, one of you was wheeling, and we go, no, it wasn't me. And then Lee goes, oh yeah, that was me, I'm really sorry, can we go? And they turn around and they go, right, yeah, give us your names. So we give them our names, they write it down in the notepad, and they go, alright boys, drive safely, go straight home please. So the ANPR camera must have only picked up Lee's bike and not mine. It was the craziest time that, I tell you what, I bought insurance the next day and I've never done it since. But that's pretty much the story. I won't drag it out because there's no need to, guys. If you want to see more stories, make sure to subscribe, like the videos, leave a comment. I'm at work, I'll see you in the next one.